Hey everybody, it's Dave, and this is the Meniere's Experience. How y'all doing? Doing pretty good for a Tuesday. Can't complain too much. Cleaned my car, did a bunch of stuff around the house. Feeling good. So, a lot of times we see people asking about injections in the ear. Okay? I can't even say the word, so that's why I say injections. Whether it's a steroid, which is dexamethasone, or gentamicin. And, they want to know if it works, if it hurts, if it's this, if it, all these questions. So let's do a video. So do the injections help? Yeah, they do. Okay. They didn't do too much in my left ear, and that was because my eardrum was sucking up most of it, and it wasn't enough going in. But for the steroid and the gentamicin shots. But this ear, the steroid shots were actually working very well. It was going right in. The, all these things. And, what really happens is they numb your eardrum. Some doctors will actually put a tube in there so they can just take the needle and go through the tube. Because if you're getting a steroid shot, you kind of have to get it done. You get them like every 3 months, 6 months to keep everything in balance, depending upon what your need is. So they might put a little tube in there. It just makes it easier for them, so they don't have to keep numbing your eardrum and causing pain, because it does hurt. They numb it, but then afterwards you can feel it, and you also feel the pressure of fluid in your ear. Okay, and it's not like you have normal fluid in your ear. You can feel it, and it does hurt. It's not super painful. I mean, you can take Advil and it gets rid of it. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the least, I'd say it's about a 2 for me. But some people it doesn't bother, so we're all different. And then after they do this shot, they have you lie down. They put a cotton ball in your ear, and you lie down on your side for about 15 minutes to make sure the medicine gets in. And you might get a little dizzy, especially with the steroid shot. You might get a little dizzy. With gentamicin, they kind of want you to bring somebody with you in case you get vertigo from it, because you might get vertigo. And it might go away real quick, and then you're off. You can go, or it might not. You might have to have somebody take you out, bring you home, somebody take you out. But I had gotten a little dizzy from both of them in this ear. And I've had steroid shots in this ear before I had the sac decompression surgery. And that was okay. It was working. I mean, it was every 3 months I was getting a shot, and then discussing sac decompression surgery with my doctor. She's like, "Well, you won't have to come in for a shot every 3 months." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So we did it, and 1 attack in a year. I can't complain about that. But it worked. It helped a lot. So, don't get yourself all worked up about a shot in the ear. It's not as bad as you think. But, we're all different, and for some people it was really bad, and for other people they were playing golf and 20 minutes later. So, who knows? Who really knows but you? So, if you're thinking about doing it, give it a shot. I mean, well, give it a try. I should say shot. Give it a try, because it can help. And there are people that have had the gentamicin shots, which is basically a chemical labyrinthectomy, and they're doing great. One of my friends, Julianne Wallace, I think she had like 2 or 3, like 20 years ago, and she's been fine ever since. So, these things do help. This is why I tell you, don't sit there and wait for the miracle drug to come out. You got to try these things. You want to get better. You don't want to wait for a drug to come out. You want to get better, then work at it. But, don't get yourself all worked up about it. It isn't like they're doing surgery. Now, if they're doing surgery, it's a little different. It's easy. I've had them all. Except for I haven't had the VNS surgery, which I won't get anyways. But I've had the labyrinthectomy, I had sac decompression surgery. The labyrinthectomy was a tough one. I was in the hospital for about 5 days with that. Normally, you can go home the same day, or they keep you overnight. I was like 5 days. It was really, it was hurt. It was painful. The sac decompression surgery, though, I mean, I was out fishing 3 days later. I felt fine. No fluid buildup, no vertigo. Wasn't even dizzy. I was fishing like 4 days later. Doctor said to me, doctor saw me, pulled over and said, "What the hell are you doing?" I didn't realize she lived like 2 houses down from where I was fishing. And even when I had the cochlear implant put in, it was like 5 days later. I was driving around. I was fine. So, yeah, if you're thinking about getting a shot, give it a chance. Give it a go. It can't, especially the steroid, because the steroid you're not gonna lose hearing from the steroid shot, from the dexamethasone. You're not gonna lose hearing from it. The gentamicin, yeah, you will. You will. Some people say they didn't, and that's good, but most of the time you will. But as far as pain goes, like a 2. What I usually do when I was getting those shots is I would get the shot and I would rest literally the next day. I wouldn't do much. I wouldn't go out. I would just watch movies, and that would be it. Just rest. For a day, maybe 2, but usually just a day. And if the pain, was, it's not a sharp pain, like a dull pain, I'd take an Advil. Okay. The one thing you will feel is the pain is actually from the fluid being in there and everything expanding at first. Because the fluid's pressing on your eardrum, it's pressing inside, it's going all around, and then, you'll feel it coming down your eustachian tubes. After they do it, but there's that pressure, and that's what kind of hurts. But that goes away over time. Usually by the end of the day, within a few hours, you're back to hearing fine, and you don't feel like you're in a bubble. So I hope this helps some people that are asking about it, and I'll talk to you all later. Take care.